Did Scott McCall deserve to be the true alpha? This is the most divisive debate in the Teen Wolf fandom, and the fan consensus is split but grounded in canon lore. By the show's official rules, a true alpha earns their status not through strength or killing, but through pure willpower, morality, and refusing to become a monster. And Scott checks every box. He never killed an alpha to steal power. He protected Beacon Hills even when he was powerless, and he chose mercy over violence countless times, which aligns perfectly with the true alpha's core definition. However, the majority of fans argue he did not feel worthy on a narrative level. Scott's power level was inconsistent. He often lost fights he should have won, relied on Stiles and Derek to save him, and made naive, reckless decisions that put the pack in danger. Fans criticized that his morality felt one-dimensional, and his rise lacked the struggle and growth that makes an earned hero. In short, he deserved it by the show's lore, but he failed to earn it in the fans' eyes due to weak writing and inconsistent character development. Why did Stiles Stilinski become the fan favorite over Scott? Stiles Stilinski dethroned Scott as the fandom's favorite character. For one simple reason, he is the most human, relatable, and well-written character in the entire show, and fans universally agree he is the heart of Scott's pack. Unlike Scott, who was written as a flawless moral hero, Stiles is flawed, sarcastic, anxious, and deeply loyal traits that make him feel real to the audience. He has no supernatural powers, yet he is the bravest member of the pack. He solves mysteries, outsmarts villains, and sacrifices himself for his friends without any strength or healing ability. His trauma arc in Season 3 with the Nogitsune is widely regarded as the best storyline in Teen Wolf. His pain, guilt, and fear felt raw and authentic, something Scott's character never achieved. Additionally, Dylan O'Brien's charismatic performance elevated the character far beyond the script. Fans connect with his love for Lydia, his brotherhood with Scott, and his unwavering loyalty. In the end, Stiles isn't just a side character. He is the backbone of the show, and that is why fans love him more than the main protagonist. Is Derek Hale's character arc the best in the entire show? The overwhelming majority of Teen Wolf fans and critics unanimously agree. Derek Hale has the single best, most complete, and most emotional character arc in the entire series, and no other character even comes close. Derek starts as a bitter, broken anti-hero traumatized by the Hale fire, betrayed by Kate Argent, and convinced he is cursed to hurt everyone he loves. He is angry, lonely, and convinced he is a monster. What makes his art perfect is its slow, painful, and earned growth. He goes from a lone wolf who trusts no one, to an alpha who sacrifices his power to save his pack, to a mentor who guides Scott and his friends. He learns to love, to trust, and to forgive himself for his past mistakes. Unlike other characters whose arcs were rushed or abandoned, Derek's journey is consistent from Season 1 to the movie. His death in the Teen Wolf movie broke the fandom not just because he was a fan favorite, but because he had finally found peace. He went from a boy who lost everything to a man who died protecting his son, a full, tragic, and beautiful redemption arc that cements him as the show's greatest character. Why was Allison Argent's death so controversial and hated? Allison Argent's death in Season 3 is the most hated, controversial, and devastating plot twist in Teen Wolf history, and the fan backlash has lasted for over a decade for three core, canon-based reasons. First, her death was completely unnecessary and narratively pointless. She died in a random fight with the Oni, a minor villain, and her death did not advance the plot, save the pack, or serve any meaningful purpose. It was just shock value for the sake of drama. Second, it ruined her perfect redemption arc. Allison went from a vengeful hunter who hated werewolves to a hero who fought for peace between humans and supernaturals. She had finally found happiness with Scott, reconciled with her family, and become a strong, independent character. Killing her right as her arc peaked felt like a cruel, lazy choice by the writers. Third, fans knew Crystal Reed left the show, but there were countless better ways to write her off college, a hunter mission, a peaceful exit. Instead, they gave her a brutal, meaningless death that left Scott and the pack traumatized. To this day, fans call it the worst writing decision in the show, and her resurrection in the movie could never fix the damage it caused. Did Lydia Martin's Banshee arc get ruined in later seasons? Nearly all long-term Teen Wolf fans agree on one hard truth. Lydia Martin's Banshee arc was absolutely ruined in Seasons 4-6, and it is one of the biggest wasted potentials in the entire show. In the first 3 seasons, Lydia's Banshee storyline was tight, mysterious, and powerful. She went from a popular mean girl to a traumatized supernatural being. Her powers were rare, dangerous, and critical to the pack. She sensed death, predicted danger, and was the key to defeating major villains. The decline began in Season 4, when the writers completely abandoned her lore and character growth. Her Banshee powers became inconsistent and useless. She would scream for no reason. Her premonitions were vague, and the show stopped explaining the rules of her abilities. Instead of training her powers or exploring her banshee heritage, the writers reduced her to a plot device and a love interest, prioritizing her romance with Stiles over her own identity. Worst of all, her trauma was forgotten. The show ignored her fear of her powers, her isolation, and her struggle to accept herself. By the final season, she was no longer the complex, powerful banshee. She was just a side character who screamed when the plot needed it. Fans universally mourn this arc, calling it the most disappointing character downgrade in Teen Wolf history.